What are the differences in the new boxes that appeared in Asia recently? Is it possible to differentiate them from the previously printed boxes? Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Hank from Wizard's Den, and you are watching Sorcery TCG News. Today, I will be talking about the characteristics of the new beta booster boxes that were released in the Far East region in April. Yes, that includes Japan, and I got hold of some boxes too. Many people are wondering what differences exist between the previous boxes. So, I will be giving you a comprehensive report based on my analysis in this video. So, let me give you a quick overview on these new Asia boxes that started appearing. The Far East region got a new shipment of Sorcery beta booster boxes in April. These were distributed by Legendary Games Distribution, which is responsible for distributing Sorcery in this region, including Singapore, Taiwan, and Japan. Interest in these boxes increased when people discovered that the misprints of Foil, Blink, and Blizzard has been fixed in these boxes. People have also noticed that the print quality has improved for these new cards. The main question that people ask is, can you distinguish these new cards from the previous ones? Are there any definitive variations that can be picked up easily? That will be the core subject I'll be discussing. First, let's talk about the appearance of the booster box itself. The physical appearance of the box have not changed at all. The dimension, the shrink wrap, the seal position of the shrink wrap, the security sticker, the cover art of the box, and the box display cutout position are all the same. The only exterior difference is the flap size of the gluing section on the bottom, which I will show a zoomed up image here. You can see that due to the flap size, the spacing of the flaps to the edge of the box looks smaller than that of the initial print version. This is the only noticeable difference that can be spotted from the outside of the box. As for the interior of the box, there were no observable differences, including the booster pack wrappers. Now let's look into the print quality of the cards. Here's a photo of the cards comparing the print quality. You can see that the Asia lot has a darker appearance than the previous version. Some will say it is more saturated, and I will get back to this when I present the detailed analysis of this print. Though there are differences in the color balance, unless you have a sample already and train your eyes to pick up the differences, ones who never had a chance to see this in the past might not be able to realize that it is a different print. They would likely brush it off as another print quality variation. To analyze the color differences, I have done a microscopic analysis of the print quality and a saturation histogram analysis. Let's look at the microscopic analysis first. These are two images of the card backs of the initial print and the Asia lot. The image is a zoom up of the letter SP of the backside of the spellbook. The first thing that can be noticed is that the resolution of the print did not change. So they are still using this super high resolution printing. However, there is a difference in the dot size. In the new print, the dots appear more distinct compared to the initial prints, and this is the direct consequences of having bigger dots in this location. Bigger dots translates to higher saturation when we process it through our eyes, and the image should look more darker and in some cases more vibrant depending on the brightness. To further analyze this, I have performed a saturation histogram analysis. What I did was first scan the card back images of the two lots, separate the color to CMYK components, and performed a numerical analysis on the saturation levels of each pixel. By doing this, I would be able to verify if the increase in overall saturation can be measured and quantified. Here are the results of the analysis. There are 4 histograms for each of the CMYK components. Each histogram has 2 plots where the blue is for the initial printing and orange for the Asia lot. The important observation is that excluding the yellow, the peak of the histogram shifts to a higher saturation level for all the colors. The other observation is that the spread of the peak is more narrow for the Asia lot. Looking at these results, the Asia lot should appear more darker due to the higher saturation levels, and should appear more sharper due to more narrow spreads of the peak saturation values. This coincides to results expected from the microscope images, and also the general response from the people who've seen the cards with their own eyes. So we can conclude that the printing of the new Asia lot is, in fact, different. However, the color difference was the only noticeable difference between the two lots. There were no other distinct differences that can be spotted to differentiate those two. I have done some careful comparisons, both by eye and numerically, but nothing that can be used as a definitive separation method was found, both in macro and microscopic level. Also, I analyzed the quality of the card cutting process. The beta print has two issues on the card cutting process: the roughness of the card edge seen from the back, and the variance in the sizes of the finished cards. The former is just a visual thing, so it's not critical. Perhaps the ones who like to grade their cards might care. But the latter, on the other hand, is fairly critical, as it does become harder to sleeve those cards due to the size variation. You can also feel them when unsleeved, so though unlikely, it could become an issue in draft matches where sleeves might not be used. Here are the images to compare the two cutting processes. Overall, it looks like it improved a lot, but I think the alpha cuts were still way better. I don't think this would be a good way to tell the differences in the two lots either. So here are my conclusions. The only definitive methods to differentiate these two lots were from the outer box. As people have pointed out, the print quality of the cards were changed from the previous print. This was verified through my microscopic images and the numerical analysis of the cards. The quality of the card cutting process improved, but still have the same flaws found in the old lot. Now, there are a few other open questions that I was not able to answer due to the fact that I only opened a single box. How the randomization differs and whether all the curios exist are open questions. For the first question, it is likely that there is an observable difference, as the print run for these new lots are significantly smaller. Now, there is one more question that people often ask. Will this print difference be a special collectible, like Summer Magic and Alternate 4th Edition in Magic the Gathering? From a pure print quality variation perspective, my personal opinion is no. Unlike those two MTG sets, there are no clear distinctive markings or UV light effects that can differentiate the Asia print, and people will probably view them as print variations of the beta version. So I don't think the color difference itself would have any special value. I think the main interest in these boxes will be the fixed misprints. So those certain cards and the sealed boxes will be viewed differently from the collectors. Also, as I mentioned, there could be differences in the card distribution or inclusion rates of the curios. So that could affect how these boxes will be treated too. What do you guys think? Do you want to get hold of these slight print variations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. So that is it for today's episode. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for future episodes regarding sorcery. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have a great game.